So good morning, everybody. For mobility and stretch, we're going to do the workout that we did last week that didn't have any audio since everything was acting up. So you're going to need a mat, and then at the end, so we're going to do a segment of hips and legs and a little bit of spine, and then we're going to do some shoulder work, and at the very end, we're going to do some shoulder dislocates, some band pull aparts, and some rotator cuff exercises. So if you have a band, go ahead and grab it and have it accessible and ready. A lot of the exercises you can do on the floor, which is where I'm going to be. And then some of the exercises, if you prefer, you can do them seated, you can do them standing. And then we are also going to do an exercise where we do leg lifts, working on our hip flexors. We're going to be lifting them up and over a yoga block or a dumbbell or something. If you don't have anything, you don't have to, you can just do the leg lift and lower. You don't have to do it lifting it over an object. An object is just kind of a target, which is a nice way to get a little bit of practice in and to see like how high you're actually able to lift your leg. But it's personal preference. So I think we're all ready to go. So go ahead and bring yourself into the middle of your mat, and we're just going to start with some nice deep breaths in, and then we're going to exhale. Good. So big breath in, spread the fingers, spread the toes, and then exhale. Good. Couple more in and out. Good. And one more in and out. And today we're going to do right foot. We're going to lift it toe heel. So we're going to do a little bit of movement starting with our feet today. So we're going to quick do our feet, and then we're going to come up to our head. Good. 2. And switch it to the other side. So just nice good lift, nice good lower. So we're just thinking toe lift and then heel lift. Waking up the ankle and then rolling through the ball of the foot and the big toe. Good, a couple more. 2 and 1. Let's bring it into the center. We're just going to tilt our ear side to side. So we want to try to keep our shoulders nice and relaxed. I've got hands on my hips today, but you can have them just down by your side. But we want to keep our shoulders low, ear to shoulder versus shoulder to ear. So when your shoulder, or when your ear goes to one shoulder, your opposite shoulder when your ear goes to your shoulder, the opposite ear is going to lift up towards the ceiling. Good. 2 more. 2, 1. Bring the head in. We're going to look to the right and then look to the left. And we want to make sure that we're keeping our chin kind of in line with our sternum. Sometimes with this one, we start to kind of jut our chin out. We want to keep it tucked back just a little bit. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it into the center. Let's just roll the shoulders up, back, and down into your back pocket. Think about thumbs pointing forward. So that means we've opened up at the shoulders. And then we have thumbs pointing forwards, palms facing in. Give yourself a little bit more space in that shoulder joint. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. We're going to bring it in, and we're just going to tap it out to the side, and we're going to reach across the body. We're going to start to wake up that upper spine. So I feel it a little bit more on one side than I do the other today. 3, 2, let's change the arm. Now we're going to do a little wave. So we're stretching out the side of the body, stretching out underneath your arms. So a little bit of lats, a little bit of lateral flexors and extensors, and then just a little bit down into your hip. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it into the center, feet about hip width apart. We're going to do our chest open and close, waking up the shoulders, waking up the chest. And I switch which hand crosses on top each time I come back to the middle. So we always tend to want to do one side. We tend to be one side dominant. So we're trying to work both sides just a little bit. 2 and 1. Bring it in, feet hip width apart, straightish knees, and we're just going to do our hip circles. 4, 3, 2, 1. Change directions. Nice good circles. Good. 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. Pivot on your heels. We're just going to take those feet out so we're a little bit duck-footed. And then same thing. Just nice good hip circles. 3, 2, 1. And then change direction. Good. 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. And now we're going to pivot on the heels. Rotating from the hips down, and we're trying to get a little exaggerated pigeon-footed. Good. 3, 2, 1. Switch direction. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in, undo the feet, little bit of a shakeout. Hold on to something if you need to, and we're just going to start with our hip swings. So a nice good reach, and it's okay if your hip swing stays small, but we want to start to wake up the hips, wake up the glutes, get as big of a swing as you can while still keeping your ribs tucked under. Good. 2 and 1. Bring it in, switch it over to the other side. Same thing. So start with a small swing, and then we start to make it a little bit bigger. So you can always start kind of down low and then start to add that movement using the hip flexors, using the glutes. Engage hips, glutes, hips, glutes. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring it in. I like to face a wall or have a hand on a table, just somewhere that you have room to move your legs in front of you. Take those feet a little bit back, and again, we're just going to take it out and swing. And it can be a small swing, so you can just start with a little swing, and then as you start to loosen up, we're going to make that swing bigger. And again, this is when I want you to make your swings as big as you can. Yes, you're going to get a little bit of rotation of the hip over your femur on that standing leg. Here's 2 and 1. Bring it in. Same thing on the other side. And again, just start out and then a little cross. So you can see I've got a little rotation on my opposite hip. You do want to do that. So we're getting a little inner and outer thigh, and we're getting a little bit of rotation on the standing leg. And here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it into the center. We're going to take our legs a little bit wide, or actually very wide. Toes pointing forwards or maybe a little bit out, and we're just going to do a little double pulsing side lunge, double pulsing side lunge, double, double. Good. And we want to make sure that we're not, keeping our heads high and then just hinging at our chest like we're kind of a bird pecking down at a seed on the ground. We want to think about those hips. So chest is tall, a little bit of an inner thigh stretch right here. But we're also getting knees and we're also getting ankles. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it into the center. Straight legs hinging at the hips, spine neutral, forward, middle, and then reach behind you. So we're going to hinge it forward, middle, reach it back. And you don't have to touch the floor. If you're very, very tight, you might not get very far. Your goal is to keep your legs straight, your knees straight, and to hinge at the natural crease in your hips. So sometimes it's very tempting. I want to get down to the floor, and we round our spine. So my upper spine is rounded, my lower spine's a little bit rounded. I want to hinge, keep a neutral spine, feel the stretch, a little bit of hamstrings. For me, it's a little bit of low back. Good, couple more. Forward, middle, back. Last one, forward, middle, back. Carefully bring yourself all the way up. Keep the legs nice and wide, arms out to the side. We're going to go back into a little side lunge, and we're going to torso rotation. I want you to think about reaching towards your knee, your calf, your ankle, but I want you to think about turning your torso to the side. So it's less about getting your hand to your leg. I want you to open. So this is a little thoracic mobility here. And it's again, okay, if you don't touch the floor. I like to think about opening, like I want to turn and look up towards the ceiling. Turn, look to the ceiling. Remember, this is stretching, this is our warm-up, but this is our mobility as well. So mobility is the ability to move your body through its range of motion. Good, couple more. 2. And 1. And we're going to go into our plank. You can use a chair, incline plank. I'm going to take my hands down, step it back into my plank, keep a little bit of a wide stance, and I'm going to lift up, down dog, and then back to plank. Down dog, back to plank. Down dog, and plank. Good. Press it back, and then back in. Good. We're going to do one more. All right. I'm going to come back to standing, but you are more than welcome to go ahead and go down to the floor. I'm just going to come up, turn on a fan, grab a quick drink of water, and then we're going to be down on the floor. Or again, if you'd like to, you can use a chair, your couch, whatever you have, and you can do this sitting down instead of being on the floor. So what I'm going to try to do is we're going to try to do each exercise for about a minute. So we're going to do each exercise for about a minute. And then we'll have a little 10-second rest. For some of these, it'll be alternating. For some of them, we'll do 30 seconds right, 30 seconds left, or a minute right, a minute left, depending on the exercise. But we're going to start with our internal knee rotations, our knee drops in our 90-90. So take the legs a little bit wide, hands by your hips, and we're going to focus on going in and in. So 1 minute, and your time is on. So we just have 1 minute, and again, we rotate in and we rotate in. So here, and then here. And your challenge, my knee does not touch the floor. Some of you might be able to get your knee to the floor, but we don't want to do it by lifting up our glute. So we want to try to keep our hips and our buns glued to the floor. Good, so in, hi. She's been like this for like the last 2 days. She's just been, I want attention, I want to be where you are. So this week she has been the star of the show. Yeah. Because she's not getting, like I said, she likes to have attention on her terms. And she's not getting as much as she'd like. Good, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now we're going to take it all the way over into pigeon. So we're going to take it all the way over 90 degrees. Your time is on. So 90, 90, turn, and then we're going to just do a little hinge forwards, and then we're going to come up nice and tall. So a little hinge, and we're going to do something different at about the halfway point. So it's a little hinge, kind of a little push-up, and then come back up again. So we're hinging at the hip. We're deepening that stretch in that outer thigh. If you need to, adjust your leg positions. It does not have to be perfectly 90-90. You can bend your front and back knee a little bit more. Good. Now you're going to take your palm, press it into the bottom of your foot, and now your other hand is going to go onto your thigh, press it down, and for the last 15 seconds, I want you to try to press and hold. So your foot is pressing into your hand is pressing into your foot, shoulder is down, press the thigh into the ground. Good. 3, 2, 1, bring it up. We're going to switch it to the other side. You can just flip over. I am going to turn so I can see the timer. So 90-90, we're going to turn, and again, we're just going to do forward fold. Most of you are going to be facing this way, but as long as you're in that 90-90, that's all we're hoping for. So a little hinge forwards, feel the stretch in the outer thigh and the glute. Little push up. Yeah, you're trying to look all cute. Sometimes when you work out, you have to make adjustments for pets, kids, grandkids, a lot of different stuff. Good. All right, bring it up. Now we're going to take our palm again, press it into our foot. Your other hand is going to press down on that inner thigh, and we're going to do our isometric. So last 15 seconds, so you're pressing down, and then hand presses into the thigh, or into the foot presses into the hand. You kind of should feel those muscles engage and turn on. 3, 2, 1, bring it up, switch it over to the other side, back to our 90-90. This time we're going to focus on our back leg, so you may need to adjust your front leg a little bit. We're going to lift our back knee, set it down, lift your back heel internally, I'm exaggerating, internally rotate, set it down. Lift the knee, set it down, lift the foot, set it down. This is a challenging one for me. We want to try not to do like a big lean forward just to get that foot to lift. So knee up and down, foot up and down. And I can tell I'm getting better. So knee up and down, foot up and down. So I can tell I'm getting better at this. It's getting a little bit easier. It's still not really moving a whole lot, but progress over perfection, right? Lift. So we're working that hip joint. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Switch it over to the other side. We're going to do the same thing. And again, I'm not turning all the way over because I have company today. Good. So hand can be by the hip. And again, we're just going to lift our knee and down. And then we're going to lift our foot and down. So our weight is in this hip. And again, you can have your hand by your hip, or some of you might be able to not hold on. So lift and down, and then rotate and down. Good. Lift, lower, rotate. And our next exercise is going to be hands and knees. And we're going to do our hip cars, which is just our hip circles. And again, you can do this standing. If you're standing, try doing it standing against a wall, because it makes it a lot harder and you're not able to lean away to get the hip up there. You have to use those hip muscles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Quick flip over, hands and knees. And we're going to do our hip circles. So we brace our core. We're going to take the leg out to fire hydrant, rotate the thigh in, circle around and in, and then we're going to do donkey kick, circle around and bring it in. So forward, out, and around, back, out, and in. So just nice, good circles. Core is braced. We want to think about using those hip muscles versus arching and rounding our low back. Good, 15 seconds. Remember, take a break as you need it. 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. You can do a little sit back. Give that hip a break. Give your hands a break. We're going to switch it over to the other side. Same thing. 3, 2, 1. Brace the core. Lift the leg out to the side. Rotate. Circle the hip around. Bring it in. Donkey kick out and around and back down. So fire hydrant. Rotate. Donkey kick and rotate. So just brace the core best you can. Good, we've got about 20 seconds. So rest if you need to, slow and steady. 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. We're going to do froggy rock back. So take your knees wider. And I like to try to bring my heels close together. You can try pointing your toes or flexing. Good. And all we're going to do is we're going to rock back and then rock forwards. So find a position that's comfortable. This one's a little bit more pressure on your knees. I can take my legs fairly wide. I'm not doing splits by any means, but you can always have your knees in a little bit closer together. It's neutral spine, and then it's just a rock. So we're sitting back into the hips, a little bit of inner thigh work here. Adjust your hand position. I always end up kind of shifting around a little bit. Your range of motion might be very small. Good, we've got about 12 seconds, and then our next exercise is going to be our V-sit, or our legs up and over our dumbbell. Good, bring it in. If you've got a dumbbell, great. If you don't, no worries. But we're going to sit it back. We're going to take the legs wide, sit as tall as you can, lean back a little if you need to, up and over, and then up and over. We want to make sure that we're not rounded at the spine. We try to sit as tall as we can. You can lean back a little bit if you need to. Just up and over, up and over. We want to lift from our hip. We don't want to let the knee bend and just pick the foot up and over if we can avoid it. So we're nice and tall. Hands can be by your hips. Help you sit up nice and tall. If you struggle with this one, it's okay. Good. Now we're going to keep our legs wide, and we're just going to try to lift up and down. Lift up and down. This is like our last 10 seconds. If you can do this without holding on, great. I get a little cramp. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up to standing. Bring it up to standing. We're going to do our kind of our Cossack squat. So take your legs as wide as you can, and I want you to sit back into it. Can you reach down towards the floor and then come back up? Now, if you can't reach the floor, do you have a chair nearby? So maybe if you've got the seat of a chair nearby or a counter, I want you to go as deep as you can. Hold it. Come back up. So the depth is coming from your hips, not from your forehead dropping to the floor. So just nice, good depth. Take it down. Again, this is hips, knees, and ankles. Take your time, slow and steady. Take it down. Bring it up. Other side, take it down. Good. Do not feel you have to go as deep as I am. I know people that can go deeper. I am not one of them. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. We're going to go into a deep squat. So wide stance, elevate your heels. This is our last hip exercise for today. I'm going to drop down into my deep squat. I'm going to drop down into my deep squat. Now you can sit in a chair, open up your hips out to the corners, and then hinge forward and kind of dig or press your elbows into your inner thighs to press your knees out. Or you can do side to side lunges, kind of like what we were doing, but maybe not as deep. But I just want you to try to get into a squat as deep as you can. And yes, we're going for a minute. You don't have to go for a minute, but remember, you can always just sit in a chair, open your hips out to the corners, and then just try to open up those inner thighs the best you can, holding a neutral spine. So if you're rounded forward, I want you to try to open up your chest. We have 15 seconds. We're going to take a little break, and then we're going to start to focus on our shoulders, and our torso. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right. Carefully work your way out of that. I just roll forwards. Because if I go from a deep squat to standing, I always wind up getting a little bit dizzy. So sometimes I just kind of fall out of my deep squat. So grab a quick drink of water. We're going to be back down on the floor, and we're going to do scorpion. Couple of ways, both sides, if you want to use a wall instead. And you really are going to make my life challenging today, aren't you? Yep, you are. All right. So we're going to take it all the way down onto our tummies. And for this one, we're going to do 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds the other, change our position, 30 seconds and 30 seconds. So let's take our right arm out to the side. Arm is straight. Left hand is going to be by your chest. Left foot, we're going to bend, and we're going to roll into that right side. So in 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to roll into that right side, and we're just going to hold it. And we're just going to hold it. If you're very tight, you might not even have to roll very far. You might just roll a little bit, and that's okay. Your foot does not have to reach the other side of your body. If you're choosing to do this standing against a wall, good, you've got 10 seconds, we're going to switch sides, then you don't have to do the foot thing. 4, 3, 2, I'm going to go ahead and get ready over to the other side. Right hand is out to the side, left hand by the chest. Or no, it's left now, isn't it? Left hand out to the side, right hand by the chest. Right foot up. As long as you're doing the opposite side, that's what I'm hoping for. So less than 15 seconds. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it into the center. Short rest, but now we're going to take that right arm out and 90-90. So 90 straight out at the shoulders to the elbow, and then 90 degrees. Same thing, hand by the chest. Let's roll into it. So instead of having the arm out straight to the side, we've got it bent, so straight line parallel to the floor, shoulder to elbow, and then a 90-degree bend, straight line elbow to wrist. Good, about 5 seconds. We're going to switch sides. 3, 2, good. Switch it over, other side. Set up, roll into it. So you got about 15 seconds. Good. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it into the center. Come up to a hands and knees position. We're going to do our scapular push-up. So hands and knees, brace the core. Pull the shoulders away from the ears, and now we're going to pinch the shoulder blades together, and then we're going to press them apart. Pinch the shoulder blades together, press them apart. Pinch them together, press them apart. Core stays nice and stable. We don't want to arch and round the back as we do this. So we're trying not to feel this in our low back. Good. Now we're going to do circles. We're going to lift up, squeeze, pull down, and push. Lift, squeeze, down, and push. So nice, good circles. Good. Let's go the other direction. Lift, take it forward. Nice, good circles. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, we're going to take the legs a little bit wide. Walk your hips to your heels. Right hand by the right knee, left hand lightly behind the ear. We're going to inhale elbow to elbow, and then we're going to exhale, open back behind us. So we're going to do about 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds the other. Good. This time, lift and hold. Hold in the open position. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Can you open a little bit farther? Last time, inhale. Exhale. Good. Switching sides. Hand by the knee. So inhale, elbow to elbow. Exhale. Open back behind you. So we're keeping that shoulder down. Good. Let's hold it in that open position. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Open a little farther. One more time. Deep breath in. Open a little farther. Good. Rest. We're going to keep this position. Right hand by the right knee, hips to heels. We're going to take our left hand, take it out to the side. We're going to pull it back, shoulder blade down and back. Reach the hand behind you. Now you're going to do a big circle coming back around. So pull it up, down, and back. Shoulder blade in the back pocket. Reach the hand back. Circle it around. Pull it back. So we don't want to have our elbow here. Back of the hand reaches. Arm back. Circle it around. One more time. Pull it back. Reach. Circle, switching sides. So pull the arm down and back into your back pocket, reach back behind you, big circle around. So pull it, shoulder blade down and back, reach the arm, circle. Pull it back, reach, big circle. One more time, pull it back, reach, big circle. Good. Bring the knees in. We're going to come up to a standing position. Again, you can remain seated if you would like to. We're going to grab our band. We're going to do some dislocates and some band pull-aparts. I always tell people start with a light to medium band here. Therapy bands are a great place to start. We're not going to worry about going for time. Actually, we might go ahead and do time on this one. So let's go ahead and take that band, starting here, up and around, circle to the front, back and around, circle to the back. So what you can do instead is stand sideways next to a wall and you draw a circle on the wall. So I would stand this way to my wall, have my hand on the wall. You would do back of the hand till you get to the top and then palm till you get to the bottom and then come back around. So that is an option, especially if you've got one pretty good shoulder and one that's really not so great, because we don't want to do these, right? We don't want to dry ourselves off with a towel. We want to get this full range of motion in our shoulders. Start wide, work your way in. Here's 2. And 1. Bring it around to the front. We're going to rotate. Palms are facing up. I have the handle, I have the band. We're going to do 10 right, 10 left, 10 both. Good. So 10 right. Nice, good pull apart. Good. Reset if you need to. Shoulder blades down and back. Lock in the right arm. Now the left arm's going to go. Good. A little shakeout. I always feel this one. Set the shoulders. 10 both. Good. Bring it in. Little bit of a shakeout. Walk the hands in a little bit more. Smaller range of motion. Shoulders down and back. Elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. Palms facing up. And we're going to do band pulls. Again, start wide. Start with a light to medium resistance band. We don't want to let the arms pop out. So it's just a little movement. We're just going to go for about 30 seconds here. Shoulders down and back, brace your core. 7 seconds. Here's 2 and 1. Good. Now we're going to take that band, take it around behind us, underneath our arms, and then we're going to cinch back a little bit, shoulders down and back, push it a little bit forwards, and then again, we're going to open, and then we're going to cross. Open and cross, and change which hand comes on top. So it's a little bit different this set, focusing a little bit more on the internal rotation than on the external. Good. Couple more seconds. 2 and 1. Good. Bring it in. Take that band, set it off to the side, somewhere out of the way. Bring it into the middle. We're going to roll the shoulders up, back, and down into our back pockets. Good. And then last exercise, palms facing forwards. Big breath in, hands lightly behind the ears. Exhale, rotate back of the hand into the small of the back. The challenge for this is we want to try not to do like these big forward and back movements. We want to imagine, if we can, that we're keeping our hand glued to a wall the whole time. It's tricky. It depends on your shoulders, but trying to get this range of motion, it's getting that internal rotation and then that external rotation. So here we're internally rotating, and now we're externally rotating. Good. Last one here and here. Good. Arms down. Little shakeout. A little shakeout. You can shake out the hips, shake out the legs, shake out the arms. Let it jiggle. It's fine. Shoulders down. Couple deep breaths in right here. Big breath in and out. And one more time. Big breath in and out. And you are all done.